Music like this sounds difficult, but believe it or not, even a beginner can learn how to play it. And all it takes is a little bit of practice. So let me show you how it's done. Right, so all you need to start with is A, C and E, with 1, 3 and 5 going up and down and a sustain pedal holding them together. This is what's called an arpeggio. It's quite a short one, but remember that for the future because I'll probably say it quite often. Start slow. Make sure you can play it smoothly and then speed it up. Maybe try using a metronome and you might find that you can get to the point where your fingers can sort of do it without your brain even engaging, because I'm certainly not thinking about what's going on there. If you can do that, let's move on to what's called an octave arpeggio. Now, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but an octave is essentially a jump from one note to the next note that's called the same thing. So that's an octave jump up, and you can have an octave jump down. So this octave arpeggio stretches between the A and the A, an octave. So we've got the first three notes that we had from before, the A, C and the E, but instead of using 1, 3 and 5, we're going to use 1, 2, 3, so that little finger can reach up to that A. Now when we play this, going up and down, we might have to rotate our wrist just a little bit in case the reach is a little bit too far, but it's the same principle. Practice slowly, making sure it's smooth, and then slowly speed it up, maybe use a metronome, and again you'll get to the point where you don't have to think about what your fingers are doing. It will take time. Maybe you can aim for something like this, and that already sounds pretty good. So step one was this triad, this group of 3 notes, otherwise known as a triad. Then we have an octave arpeggio. Let's see if you can do 2 octaves. So take the same 3 notes that we've begun with, 1, 2 and 3, same fingers 2. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, then tuck your thumb underneath to get to that A now. So it goes 1, 2, 3, A. And it's sort of a tuck, sort of a jump. 1, 2, 3, A with our thumb, and then we repeat the same pattern to get to that second octave A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. A, C, E, A, C, E, A. And coming back down, you want to use exactly the same fingers, exactly the same notes, but you want your third finger to come over the top to get to that, get to the E. Okay? Up 2 octaves and down. This one you really want to start slow to get that motion nice and fluid. And again, you can slowly speed it up. And the more you can minimize that jump, if you start doing crazy stuff with your hand, it's going to become less and less accurate the faster you go. So you can go really quite quick, so long as you keep your fingers as close to the keys as you can. And hopefully you didn't notice too many bum notes in there as well. But that's all well and good, but what about making it sound as cool as what we heard to begin with? Well, that just requires the left hand. And we want to play octaves, so that means our little finger and our thumb playing the same notes at the same time, so 2 A's. And if the stretch is too painful or your hands literally can't reach that, just opt for the lower note with your little finger. So we're going to go A, then G, then F, then E. Just moving down the white notes from A down to E. And we can do this with all 3 of the different patterns we learn in the right hand. So, the 3-note pattern. We want to play that, I guess, 4 times. And it fits with the left hand. Okay? We could do the octave pattern. But that's a slightly different timing, so it will sound like this. There we go. Feels a little bit like a ticking clock. So the right hand plays the pattern twice for the left hand to move each time. So there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You get the gist. But now if we move and do the 2 octaves, I think we're only going to need to play that pattern once, going up and down, before the left hand needs to change. Because it's so long, but it just makes sense that the left hand should move at that point. And of course, practice that slowly and build it up, and it will sound pretty good when you speed it up. but it's missing something. It's missing a little bit of movement. This is a challenge. If you've got everything else sorted, give this a go. I'm pretty sure I've run long over my 5-minute lesson time, but never mind, this is worth it because it sounds awesome. You can move that shape so long as you've got the same distance of notes apart. You can move that to any set of white notes within reason. I'll show you why in a moment. And we want this. When we're playing the A in the left hand, we want the same shape we've been learning in the right. When we play the G in the left hand, we want to shuffle everything down by one note. So now we end up with G, B, D, G. So that was G, B, D, G. Same pattern, same shape, but it sounds pretty good. When we get to the F, same pattern, just shuffle down to the F, A, C, and F. Now the tricky one, we move down to the E, same shape, same pattern, Sean Connery, but we want a G sharp. It sounds weird now, but, oh, look at that. Suddenly sounds like we got something. So let me play that all for you in context. I'm going to play it twice every time. Oh look, you can play an arpeggio all the way up the piano if you want, and it sounds amazing, and it doesn't actually require that much effort. Right, practice for the week. Step 1, learn the triad arpeggio and slowly speed it up using a metronome. Step 2, do the same thing but with the 1-octave arpeggio. That's 4 notes, not the 3 that was found in the triad. Step 3, same again, 2 octaves. And step 4, add in the left hand notes, but only when your right hand is confident. So, if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more of these lessons, make sure you're subscribed. It's absolutely free. And if you don't want to miss another lesson, 10 AM on Saturdays, hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time.